We are ending around 11. I want to give you guys as much as possible time to ask questions and all that good shit. So last time on the journey to the Shrouded Isles, our party had spent the majority of their time uh, so far just kind of debating how they would like to approach this grove. You were headed towards the Iron Thicket, and after waiting the night just off the coast of the Hollow Hills, you decide that you're going to go for a very open approach after much debate. And really, most of the session was just you guys kind of talking over how you actually wanted to present yourselves, how open you wanted to be, some goals of what you were trying to do here, and just kind of grounding yourselves with a solid plan. You decided to go over land as opposed to around the coast. And with some incredible rolls, you actually managed to find the grove pretty quickly. It is still evening by the time you actually arrived near the entrance. Uh, but there is this strange kind of black void-like hole in a massive tree that had all different sorts of claw marks around it. And we gotta have a little D&D experiment of throwing sticks into it, trying to poke limbs into it, and then some people saying "fuck it, we ball," and straight up walking into the strange contraption, of which, surprise, was a portal. You entered this kind of different realm, or at least different place in the world. You're unsure of exactly how it works. Uh, but over in this strange new dimension, you were able to kind of freely float about. There was gravity to an extent, but it was very clear that you could use more than just your normal walking statistics to navigate the space, as there was a very long hallway that had appeared to be just darkness on all of the actual edges lining the wall, your vision, and even those with dark vision being unable to see for the most part, except for our few people here who are gifted Devil's Sight and the Sight of Magic. But slowly navigating the space, you felt that there was almost a pull coming from the end of the hallway, of where there was this small kind of a glimmer of light coming from this small spherical orb that kind of looked like it was made physically of light, not too dissimilar to how Mammoth kind of creates his starry forms. When you shape your bow, your chalice, and all of the other different star-like spells where you just kind of make orbs of light, it looked pretty similar. And upon touching it, you all felt your vision go dark and felt your bodies moving through almost like a thick, staticky fog. It almost felt like you were going through water with the density, but after a few moments that felt like minutes that could have drawn into even past that, you opened your eyes and you found yourself staring at a unknown sight. As you were looking down, arriving from the ceiling of a massive underground tree. You could see luminescent leaves towering over what appeared to be a city of stone. Various different stone spires and smaller forestry just kind of outlining the actual city itself. But you can see there was other people floating by as well. You can see there was even horses, kind of they didn't look awkwardly drifting through the air. They looked like they were used to navigating the space, much more so than yourselves, and just kind of floating alongst other pathways next to you and entering similar looking void-like holes like you did. as you began to kind of traverse downward, you were given a moment to take actions, observe, and as you were taking in the environment, a search party began to approach. And that's where you met one of, not necessarily the leaders here, but clearly has some command and respect from others. Uh, Winnie Hadis. Winnie Hadis is a centaur who kind of gave you guys a small little bit of an interrogation rundown, essentially asking how you got here, what your intentions were, and was extraordinarily surprised when she learned that your entire purpose was just to learn about druidic origins. She explained that this is the one true circle, that this is the original birthplace of druids, but it was very rare that you would see travelers come all this way for a purpose such as that. Um, and she kind of gave a few of you a little cursory glance, lingering on some much longer than others. But surprisingly, didn't seem that bothered by Duradon, which was the biggest concern for the group after being warned by Malar, not but a few days prior, that you're walking into the home of the one true original druid. Probably should be wary based on your previous history and the fact that even though you're in a different time, he could still smell blood on your hands, and they probably could too. But at least Winnie didn't seem to know, although did linger on Mustang slightly longer than the others, as well as Kipley, looking more confused than concerned, but offered that you would be able to browse the city as anyone else would, and offered to escort you through it. Um, After you mentioned of who exactly you were here to see, uh, she brought you to the center of a city, and going past that is kind of a long spire that actually went further into the tree itself. But you didn't really get a name for the tree just yet, but you know this was kind of like a larger, not just cultural aspect of worship, but you could definitely tell this is part of the ecosystem here. They've built this entire civilization around whatever this object or artifact of history is. As this is not an ironwood, this is certainly something else that, if it was an ironwood tree at one point, it certainly is no longer. Um, but after navigating your way through the city and also seeing there's normal pieces of infrastructure, there was markets, bazaars. You could see that there was bakeries. There was all different sorts of more advanced civilization that are normally not part of a grove. Groves, they have like normal aspects of life that you would see in some kind of villages or smaller civilizations, but normally don't tend to grow into the infrastructure that you saw here. These buildings, while made of stone and were clearly stone shaped in some way, shape or form, pun intended, uh, they were much more advanced than what you would expect to be from at least simple magics. But nevertheless, Winnie led you to go meet Kelihara. Uh, and after some time, you were brought to this kind of larger balcony that was built into the tree itself. On one of the lowest branches, still able to far overlook the city and beautiful lake in front of it. You just kind of began to go for some questions with one another about what you wanted to talk about, what you wanted to kind of learn here, and how you wanted to approach it. You're a little unsure of the process, who you were meeting, and just kind of trusting everyone of knowing who you are, as you got warned specifically not to mention your situation prior. Um, but during all of that, Mammoth finally met a strange, cute little individual that you were prompted to try and ask for when you got to the grove. Uh, During your brief kind of vision that you saw with your grandfather Mary, he gave you a very common name, of which you weren't surprised at all, of Joe Wrangler, a undescribed individual of who would be a pleasant ally to kind of greet and make your acquaintance at the One True Circle. And it turned out to be a spirit cat of some kind. It is a cat known as Joe, with the nickname of Wrangler, as described by Winnie. Um, he has tussled and grappled with many different creatures and people who have seen him for as long as the circle has existed. I mean, he's been here for hundreds of years, if not more. And they just kind of accepted him as like a guardian spirit, where he just kind of goes where he pleases, and the people take care of him as they see fit. Doesn't really belong to any individual, but just kind of drifts about in the space as cats do. And as we ended last session, the Wrangler himself, after leaping onto Mammoth's chest and threatening to claw out vital organs, with only cuteness in his heart, he went and rested at the feet of this sleeping figure. This kind of red-haired woman that was said to have been in a slumber for many months and unable to have been woken up to this point. And after the cat rested at her feet and kind of began to purr, you saw that her eyes jolted open. And as she looked around, kind of gathering in those who were present in her company, she looked over in the group's direction with a smile, briefly addressing Joe, and then looking at everyone else. And in a theme of which you can take it as concern or a building pattern, Mammoth was addressed in a familiar tone as she greeted you as the child of a comet. Child of the comet, excuse me. Get your title correct. But also expanded on that further. Mysteriously kind of looking at you, but also past you, Mammoth, and saying, Father, it had been a long time and it was good to see you. And that's where we pick up tonight's session. You see this kind of deific figure. Mammoth did step away from the group slightly, but you're all still within earshot, and within only about like 5 to 10 feet of Mammoth, because he went up to Winnie to ask her a question about Joe. And as soon as the cat appeared, he kind of, he's just hanging around with all of you. You see this kind of deific figure looks at you, Mammoth, and has just this very gentle and kind smile that just kind of dawns across her face. You can see there's almost like a hint of familiarity now that you can see her eyes open and holding contact with yours, but you don't know how. You're left with a sense of like, I've seen this person before, or like it feels like I know that person. In the very same way of like where you see a familiar face on a random street that kind of looks like maybe one of your friends or family members. You're like, hey, I might know that person from somewhere, maybe? Question mark. You're looking at this woman and you feel like you have seen her before, or interacted with her before, or maybe had a vision or something, but you can't quite put your finger on it. But as she addresses you in that familiar name, Child of the Comet, is stated, you just get that slight feeling of anxiety building in your chest of, oh boy, I hope this isn't another Malar. encounter. And you see she remains seated, but gestures for all of you to approach, because the rest of you are like 10, 15 feet away. And Mammoth is kind of closer to the actual foot of the throne that she's sitting in as you were interacting with Joe over there. She goes, please, by all means, come, gather. Friends of the circle, I believe you've all journeyed quite far to get here. Would you like any sort of food, refreshments? You must be hungry.
I'm all right.
I'm not hungry.
Oh, very well. If not hungry for that of the body, I am sure you seek many hungers of the mind with questions, of which I'm very happy to answer. And she's kind of holding this weird smile that, from what you were described, you were given a warrior in kind of the picture painted by Malar, but you don't see such a bearing on this person. And she gestures for all of you to gather closer, and you see she kind of takes note of each individual person. And she kind of stares at Mustang for a moment, and then going down one by one, making eye contact with Kipley, and hovering over Durdon for a moment, before she lands on Cyrus. And you can see she stays much longer on Cyrus than she does anybody else. And that gentle smile doesn't it doesn't flicker away for too long. But you see there is kind of a more blank expression as she sits in her direction before returning to the smile once more. Please, by all means, my name's Kalihara, as some of you may know. And I see some familiar faces about here and some unfamiliar. Please, introduce yourselves. To whom am I speaking with?
I'm Mammoth.
Oh, that I know.
All right.
And you? She looks in Kipley's direction.
Hello. Good to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you as well. What is your name?
You know. It's Kipley.
Kipley.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Are you... and she pauses for a moment.
Probably.
Oh? Are you a mind reader?
Yep.
Oh. What was I just thinking?
I wonder if she can read my mind.
That'd be a rather strange thing to think of on meeting somebody for the first time, but I guess it is a valid question in your case since it's true. No, I was going to ask, you appear to have somewhat bestial features. Your ears are not elven, but they are longer than usual.
Oh!
And there's something about you. Are you a shifter?
Yes. How nice of you to notice.
Well, from what clan do you bear?
It's not one that's really around anymore. They all kind of died off.
I'm sorry to hear such things.
Oh, that's alright. I don't honestly even remember them.
You bear striking resemblance to one of the families who called this place home.
Really?
But perhaps I was mistaken then. My apologies. Uh, and you? And she looks towards Mustang with that kind of same host-like smile.
Name's Mustang. Mustang Storms. It's a pleasure.
Singströms. Forgive me if I ask and sound rude in doing so, Mustang. You're carrying something inside of you that's very volatile. And I'm sensing your ease in this moment. But are you perhaps a keeper?
Keeper?
Yes. You seem unfamiliar with the term, so I'm assuming not. Though I mean the meanest pregnancy joke. I I feel it would be simple to explain, but lost in this moment. We can circle back to that later.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I got some roommates I'm sharing this body with.
Well, I'm sure you're aware of its presence, but keepers are those who bind themselves to wild spirits purposely, normally tasked to do so by a traditional bond, either family, monastery, or circle, in our cases, to try and keep those elements of destruction in check and in balance. And I can recognize yours seems to be in control and rather well sealed, so I assumed that you might be one of them.
But you make it sound so noble.
It is a very noble cause indeed. Ever since the divergence occurred, there's been a number of rampaging elementals, specifically primordial powers, rather, that have been kind of seeking their way through this land now that there's not much divine presence to stop them from doing so. So for at least 200 years, people have been taking it upon themselves to bear such burdens. I would like to say it's a very noble cause indeed.
Are there people like that here?
Oh yes, we have at least two. I do not know their immediate whereabouts, but if you would like to speak with them, I can summon them.
Oh, yes, that would be lovely.
Oh, you know.
You don't want to talk to him?
Well, we've been introduced to some pretty interesting people as of late that, you know.
Interesting, you say?
Yeah. I just think, maybe.
Kipley, we can talk about this later, okay?
Okay.
If it is concern for your safety, you are welcome guests here, and there will be no harm that will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
I can sense there's some unease with that statement, as you may have heard it before, but I assure you, we are peaceful peoples here. There's not been a conflict in nearly a millennia upon these grounds. You'll be safe as long as you are within our borders, and as long as I am here to proceed over them. But apologies, before we continue our conversation, I believe there are still two individuals of which I have not yet been properly introduced. And you see she looks over towards Durdon.
I'm Durdon.
You also may be using a webcam mic at the moment.
Oh,
There we
God
go.
damn. Okay.
Get it?
You were kind of leaning back, and a breeze nearby deafened your voice. What was that
Uh,
again?
I'm Duradon.
Doridon. A pleasure. And where do you hail from, my friend?
Uh, you know, places. I don't.
Faces and things of such.
Yes, I don't remember where my homelands are from. A lot of trauma at a young age. I forget where I come from.
I'm sorry to hear.
It happens.
You see, she does linger on you for a moment before moving on to Cyrus. And before she can even ask what your name is, Cyrus immediately just goes, my name is Cyrus Omaril. I am a friend of this fine traveling group here, and we're just on our way to the city of Ralen and just wanted to pop by so that Mammoth could learn about some Druidic origins. That's all.
Why
You
you
can
say
see.
it like that?
You can see. Go and give me. You can give me an insight check if you would wish. Anyone can join in that as well. Um,
Poop.
Cyrus just 9. You know, Cyrus appears to be. Oh God, for 12, not any better. For a general sense, past any insight that you might have for delving deeper with your time spent with her, there's just a general unease that you can get with her being here. You don't know if it's in this person's presence in particular, or if it's this place in general. Just because Cyrus tends to stay in the back of the group, both for healing purposes, as is Cyrus's trained job, but also mischief's use of you guys as like a human shield. Tends to normally just stay in the back and just disappear and then reappear when needed. So you don't really get a beat on her most times. And this is one of the times you're just kind of getting a general just sense of unsureness and unease. Obviously, Kalihara goes, wonderful. Well, we are all familiar with one another. So, oh, one moment, please. And she turns, and you can see the, to say the least, bird person of which was described at the end of last session as well, that had flown over at one of the round, kind of what appeared to be just kind of large table in the side of the balcony. She goes and kind of waltzes over there, and you can see they have a brief exchange. She goes, "Oh yes, thank you so much, Barnaby. Okay, I know, lovely to see you again. Could you grab L, please? Yes. Well, I'm sure they're of course. Thank you." And hovers back over. Durdon and Mammoth, you guys can hear this because you're passive perception a little bit more. She essentially asked to grab the two previous mentioned individuals for Mustang. You can see also she's kind of like murmurs something that's a little bit out of earshot. Something about the different seasons gathering. But as she waltzes back over, she goes, "I'm so sorry about that. I had some prior greetings that it'd be very rude of me not to extend the same courtesy to my fellow friends and compatriots of the Grove, as I've been missing for quite some time. But please, by all means, Mammoth, as you said, um, uh, you said that you had questions for me. At least that is what Winnie was addressing me with. Uh, what exactly are you looking for?
It's less so that I have questions and more that I just want to like have someone catch me up to speed on everything I should know as somebody that doesn't know anything about druids.
You see, she just genuinely let out a little laugh. She goes, I see. So you don't have memory of your origin circle, or those who came before it?
I would say not.
Very well. That can be done.
Okay,
As
I
it
do have
seems you're
one
looking-
question.
Oh, of course.
What was all that about my original circle?
uh, the Circle of Stars is a
Yeah.
very old lineage. One of the few that predates the natural elements. And I presumed that you may have an inkling of where you might have learned your practice, but it appears that you seem rather, in the moment, lost on the basics, as what you could say, fundamentals of druidic practice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
We're pretty much the definition of
So-
lost.
Yes, I can see that for some of you, but may I ask, Mammoth,
hmm
is this place familiar to you at all?
No. I mean, the energy kind of it feels familiar, but it doesn't. It doesn't feel like I've ever been here.
And she gestures behind her to the massive, just ever-growing tree, and goes, and this magnificent being of which we are sitting upon its precipice, it does not seem familiar to you either?
This massive being,
Oh, yes.
right? What one?
She smiles. The tree.
Oh. What about it?
I think I have my answer. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And you can see at this point, as she's like started to walk around, you can see that Wrangler is like ecstatically kind of jumping around the place, like kind of sprinting from one balcony edge to another, briefly stopping to rub up against kind of just her leg for a moment, and then immediately jumping from like a post, and then just kind of sitting there in pounce position, kind of eyeing everybody to see where's the next leap gonna take them. I see she smiles and looks at them and goes, "Oh, old friend, it's good to see you." And he just straight up jumps, and he watches like a poof of smoke. Just the cat dissipates, and then reappears on her shoulder, kind of wrapping around like a boa scarf. And she just kind of gently pets its head, of which you can see the many eyes begin to blink in and out of the darkness. Perhaps after the ritual, something will return. I have to say, it does sadden me to hear that you're unfamiliar with your origins. But that is something that we can remedy in time. I feel words might be lost, and direct translations through texts and even just oral knowledge passed from one to another um, may not be what you are looking for. So later this evening, if you are right with it, we can venture deeper within the great tree, and we can begin to allow you, and if you wish, your compatriots to as well, experience its knowledge, as it itself has seen far more than even I when it comes to this place.
Kibli looks back and forth between Mammoth and Buckles.
Buckles. Classic Buckles.
Buckles.
Buckles is preoccupied.
Okay, gang, cool. I had to search, search fucking chat. I was like, Buckles? The
Who's
fuck is-
Buckles?
Buckles
Yeah, it's been a while
cool.
since Kipling
And
had
we
a
haven't-
psychotic breakdown.
We haven't addressed this. Why are we letting it
No,
go?
we did.
Sorry, guys.
We did.
My dad is
Shit.
going for surgery soon, and he wanted to talk to me about it right now, of all times. So,
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
How rude
apologies.
of him. God.
Yeah, I know. God,
Terrible thing to do. Hope he's okay.
he's-
You see Kelly Hara kind of looking at you guys to see if there's going to be any correspondence, and seeing the silence, just goes, I'm not going to force you to go through the process if you don't want to. I'm just saying it'd be a much easier thing to view the trees, essentially experience and memories, than it would be for me to dictate it to you like a lecture.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay, fantastic. Well, in the meantime, we're connecting with you. In the meantime, I believe you've only been introduced to Winnie so far. I have summoned Elihara. Yes, I know. Sounds like we're related. Completely not so. Elihara and Reyna, also known as Rahina. Those are the keepers of the air and tides. They will be here shortly. I am uncertain as to what conversation they might hold, as they're a little more rowdy bunch opposed to the others here. But while they are en route, do you or any of your friends have any questions that you would like answered? Yes, Kipley.
Do you have any of the really... Can we have a seed from this tree?
I don't know if I believe I have the permission to give you such a thing. You can ask them yourself if you would like.
The tree?
But of course.
Them? It's not just one
yes.
tree?
Oh, if you wish to get from this tree in specific.
Oh. Yeah,
Are you just talking about any of the ironwoods in general?
Oh, Well, those two, if you have any of those.
But of course, if you would wish for a ironwood sapling, I mean, there's plenty that can be gathered. I'm sure we have spares lying around, just in case we need to regrow any accidental molding earths of the younglings.
Yes, yes, that is very wise. Kibble like elbows Mammoth excitedly.
What is the purpose, if I may ask, for this inquisition of saplings?
Well, it's important to plant trees where there are none.
Oh, you wish to take it with you back to your home?
Is that... What else would we do with it?
Many use them as bartering tools. They are here common, more used as a kind of, how do I put it? I don't want to say currency, but for those of the botanist variety, since they live within the thicket and have access to many ironwood trees, they keep it as a kind of general collection, just in case the ironwoods in the material realm need to be replaced. Kind of storage is what I was looking for.
Ah. Very interesting.
They are incredibly durable, and it would take quite the disaster to ruin them, but there is such disasters that do roll through every now and then.
Well, they sound like something that's handy to have on hand then.
But of course, they're quite the astounding aid to their ecosystem.
How much are they?
How much?
Okay, can we just have one?
We do not barter with gold or coin here now. If you would like to provide something for them, you may, but such a trifle will not be asked of for anything in return.
So you're not gonna ask for it? You're just gonna give it to us?
Of course. You request it.
What? Kibble like looks at the rest of the group.
Oh, some people are nice. Isn't that crazy?
I was gonna say the first, like, somewhat nice person in Kibley's life blows her mind.
She instantly trusts nothing here.
Yes, I mean, I can understand how those who would come from civilization would be confused on such terms, but you have to understand we are a self-sufficient people. The only advancement we seek is in bettering our circles and ourselves, and bringing aid to the world as much as possible. We do have an understanding of currency, that of which I will assure you is true. We've had a number of merchants come here in the past that have tried to, as I understand, most humanoids refer to as monopolize our goods, trying to set up trade-based relationships with us. Has failed on every attempt, except for one, as we did meet one kind of more pure soul who was looking to not just take advantage of our kindness, but to offer as a intermediary between us and the outside civilizations.
Someone that's still here?
He's going to be coming back from a supply run, probably in the next week or so, until he reaches our shores and gains access to our network.
Or what's his name? Maybe we've heard of him before.
Of course, his name is Tors.
Tors? Nope, never heard of him.
Like horse with a T?
Yes,
Or
Huh.
like torch with
Tors.
a ch.
Either pronunciation could work. Tors Newman.
Newman.
Yes.
Does he have any relatives by chance?
We are unaware of his family, but
I bet he has parents.
of course,
Probably.
as do most. Well, he has not spoken of any prominent lines of relatives as a bargaining chip or anything of the like. You seem to have a familiarity with that name, though.
Oh, I was just curious, Yeah, I travel quite a bit. You meet a lot of people here and there. Newman's not, it's a middle of the road common last name, so there could be no relation at all.
Very well. So, any other questions or requests while we are here? I don't have company traveling so far to meet me, so this is a treat to converge in such ways.
But I think Mammoth.
GM.
Oh, go. Yeah, you.
Oh, I
you,
just had a question.
you.
While I was talking with my dad, did she say that we were all going to connect to the tree or just Mammoth?
She said there is a ritual to speak directly with the tree and experience its memories. She offered it to Mammoth specifically, but also said that if anyone would like to join in the process, they could.
I see. Okay. That is what I wanted to know and what I missed.
Yeah,
Kip,
absolutely.
go ahead. The floor is yours.
Did not seem like it was solely specific, excuse me, to Mammoth.
I don't know. I think Kipley probably just looks at Mammoth. Do you want to go talk to the tree now?
Yeah, but you guys should come with me to also talk to it.
Oh, I will. Well, actually, I have a question. Being a keeper and all, whatever that means, is there any risk connecting to the tree? I can't give it like a virus. It won't be equivalent to me like coughing on it.
Or like light it on fire?
If you were
I do
in
that.
a more volatile state, perhaps. But it seems that the sealant of magic, or rather, magic's a general term. For you, it does seem to be more arcane than natural bonds. But the arcane sigils that have been placed inside of your body do act as containment seals for your passenger, as you would. So you should have no issues with connecting with the tree.
All right, just wanted to make sure.
Of course. I can see why you would be concerned, as due to the nature of your connection. I appreciate that.
Duradon, do you want to connect to the tree?
Yeah, Don, go talk to the tree.
I'll go and speak with the tree.
I have another question about the tree, and you might want to know the answer to this too, Durdon. When we connect with the tree and we see its memories, will it see ours as well? Or do we just see it?
You're asking if it's a one-way or two-way street. That's an interesting question. All of those who've previously gone through this ritual have varying experiences. Some have described having full conversations with its spirit. Others having a sole piece of information that they were looking for that they obtained, and that was all. And others simply getting lost in the a kind of sea of memories that it offers up if it chooses to accept you.
So what I'm hearing is it's anybody's guess, just varies person to person.
Yeah, I would love to give you a definitive answer, but
Has anyone died from doing it?
no, not that I'm aware
Oh.
of. There has been some mental anguish that's come from those who seek to use its knowledge for
Oh.
their own purposes, and it is a self-aware and very intelligent being that only allows those who seek to use its knowledge for either good of what it deems to be good, or simply, if it sends any ill intentions, it tends to not just reject them, but kind of leave them with a mental scar to know what they did.
Got it. Mental spanking.
Yes, Asander's not exactly the forgiving type.
Asunder? Its name is Asunder?
Yes.
That's pretty.
So foreboding.
Well, Elsander, not Isander.
Oh, alright, I misheard. My fault.
But of course, it is a rather lengthy ritual, so that's why I said that we could do this later in the night, as some of those who have sleep cycles can induce themselves into the normal period of sleep, and we can do this at the same time, so that when you awake, you will have your experience completed. It is rather lengthy; it can go on for hours, depending on your connection to the natural world. Some can only go for minutes, and they will have a simple conversation, brief moment of contact, and others I've seen commune with Sanda for days. So I'm
Okay.
interested to see how they will react to such company, such as yourselves.
So we can just walk about and then.
Oh, of course,
meet
if you
back
wish to
here?
view the city, by all means, take part in our wonderful accommodations. If you would like any places of housing for the night, or anything that you would require, we should have the majority of what you seek. I will say in advance, we do carry select goods from the outside world, but if you are looking for any specific articles of clothing that have an emphasis in Dominic is completely losing the word. Ferromantic metals, then you will not find those here.
Romantic?
Ferromantic.
Baromantic.
Oh. I thought you were talking about like harnesses or something.
No. Yeah, if you're looking for any romantic stuff, we're not into that in the circle of the true
Got it.
one true druid. No. Ferromantic metals.
All right. Just meet you back here, or
Yes. If you would like, I'm sure Winnie would be happy to escort you about if you need a guide, but otherwise you are free to roam. Would you like me to have Rel and El meet you at a specific time and place, Mustang?
Oh, is that their names? The other keepers?
Yes. Rahlena and Elena. They like to be called Rel and El for short.
Are they gonna like it if I call them Relinel, or is that just for you?
We all call them by that. It seems to be their preferred kind of choice of nickname.
I'm gonna trust you. If I call them Relinel and they get mad at me, it's on you.
If you would wish, you can call them Elena and Elena to begin with. The sisters don't normally get overly bothered by pronunciation, as they've given up on such things long ago. Even I slip up every now and then, so I wouldn't feel bad.
Uh, yeah, I'd love to meet them, but I don't know if I could suggest necessarily a specific place, because I don't really know where anything is around here.
Wait, would you like me to have them either swing by on the morrow, or if you wish to stay within one of our spires, I can have them be sent in your direction of one.
Let's go with tomorrow. I'd hate to waste this
Very well.
what I've got the rest of the day
Yes,
waiting
of
for
course.
like the town.
Yes, but we do have sages here. We have a number of historians that if you would have any specific questions about the kind of intrinsic nature of our peoples, not necessarily your origins, Mammoth, you could ask about. And yes, please feel free to explore. And if you do have any questions, Winnie and I will be here and happy to answer.
Thank you. This feels incredibly productive, and you are a very gracious host. Thank you. We appreciate your hospitality.
I understand those who are in a long bout of wandering from place to place looking for a home. And while we do not often grant the honor of having this place be a respite, you are all individuals of backgrounds I feel comfortable granting that honor to.
Well, we appreciate your trust, Keliara, and like I said, your hospitality. And how best do we get a hold of you if we need to get a hold of you? Do we just show up here, or
Oh,
receive a sending?
if you, if you have access to such spells, you could send a sending. But if you wish, Winnie can accompany you and simply bring you back here whenever you need be. I will be in some mandatory meetings with some of the other circle heads, as it has been some time since I have last been active. They will need to bring me up to date on what has happened in the world, and we like to stay connected and updated through one another to know if there's any oncoming threats or any that any place that in the world that need aid that we can provide that to.
That's totally fair. Totally fair. But
So-
are you sure Winnie would like to be our guide, though? I like Winnie. I like her fine, but I don't know.
Winnie gives you a look. Winnie doesn't look either ecstatic or upset about it. She goes, "I don't mind it, but all due respect, Kaliara, they can find themselves around the city perfectly fine. I believe they are well equipped individuals who, I mean, if you need the guy that can act as one, yes."
Anyone want a guide particularly badly?
No, I think we can. I think we can find our own way.
Good.
I think so too.
As you said, and Winnie kind of nods in your direction, one thing. If you do have access to such a spell as sending, by all means, I would advise you reach out to me first before Kerihara. Do not interrupt such business until tomorrow. But otherwise, you are guests amongst the city, and anything you wish to explore is all left open to you. Enjoy.
Um,
Yes, Mammoth?
Yes.
oh, can I take Joe with me?
You see Joe, who's been kind of just perched on Kalauer's shoulder, kind of hearing his name, whips and looks at you. Kalauer smiles and kind of gives him a little scritch before kind of just holding him out. Very much like opening up her arm towards you slightly, offering him a catwalk. He just slowly walks down the length of her arm, kind of teeter-tottering a little bit before jumping, poofing again, and then poofing at your feet, just kind of looking up at you. Again, the size of Joe, as a reminder, he is about 2.5 feet in length. He is a very long cat. So he just kind of looks up at Mammoth, kind of blinks a few times, just gives a little meow. Yeah, by all means. Doesn't seem like he's uninterested. If you wish to take him with you, by all means, go ahead.
Okay. And Mammoth will kind of like pat his shoulder, tell him to jump on.
He once again, opposed to poofing like he does with Kalahara, he grabs into your clothes and begins to climb up you. And again, you're like, I think Mammoth's like 3.5 feet tall, like 4 feet tall, right?
I think 3.5.
3.5, yeah. By the time he's like up to your shoulder, his feet are still touching the floor, and he kind of wraps around. He kind of wraps around you in that scarf-like fashion, and you do feel the immediate weight. It's not as much as you would expect for a cat this size, but he's still present. He still has physical matter to him. Yeah, he kind of just wraps around there.
Neat.
It's like
So.
sprinkles.
It is like a sprinkles, yes.
Like
Except he is not a
sprinkles.
weasel. And he's also not a god. As you guys depart, what would you like to explore? Any place in particular that you are looking for? There is shops if you'd like to try and barter. There is not inns necessarily, as there's not enough of a visitor kind of frequency for them to have such things, but there is kind of like commonplace like common gathering places where there is kind of food and beverages being displaced.
Oh man.
If you guys don't have anything in specific you are looking for, you can just feel free to like essentially book a spire. There's a whole bunch of like
Aspire?
yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
if you look at the map, there's it's kind of hard to look in the exact distance because it's a little blurred out, but the infrastructure of the city of the One Circle is majority made from Stone Shape. And Stone Shape is a very rudimentary spell. So while they have interiors to them that have, they do have beds, they do have tables, they do have the basic needs for ones to go about their daily life, the druids here don't really care too much about how well their house looks from the outside. So instead of like huts or any kind of like tree houses, they are living out of these massive kind of spiraling spires made of stone that go up to around like 20 to 25 feet tall.
And we could just rent them?
No, for you guys, you can, if you ask for a place to stay, you will just be given either 2 to 3 spires, depending on how many people want to bunk up in them. You can all technically fit in one because they are rather tall and they do have multiple floors. But for comfortability's sake, if you wish to split up, there's at least 3 spires that are available.
We can't have our own spire.
Okay.
Why not?
No.
Yeah. You,
Yeah, why not?
at some point in the evening, you walk up and kind of ask around for where you can find a place to stay, and you see there's this tiny little fairy, that's like about 8 foot tall. You see he's kind of got this like old cap that looks very worn, kind of drooping past his hair, this bristly gray. He has tiny little glasses on. He is wearing a little vest that appears to be had like once maybe like 50, 60 years ago been nice, but now it's kind of worn. It has some threads that are getting a little loose. You see he's in a little vest and suit, and you see he goes, "Oh yeah, if you're looking for a place to stay with spires, for guests such as yourselves, you guys can get a spire each if you want. It's gonna take some time for us to clear out those who are currently in them and to make room. But yeah, if you guys want to bunk up, we do have free available spires at all times if you want to stay in them."
You were just going to kick other people out?
Oh no, we know that all guests of the Grove are typically individuals of, import who come here for various, purposes and have to stay for periods of time. So we're we're told to be very accommodating by the Grove Mother, and we do respect her wishes. And I mean, they don't mind. We have many different spires that we can make as well as temporary houses for them.
Is your name George?
No, my name is Norman, but it is a pleasure to meet you.
Hello, Norman.
And he holds out a tiny fairy hand that is literally like as big as like a thimble.
She holds out her just little index finger.
It encompasses his entire hand as you shake it. He does go up and down a little bit. He goes, "Oh yeah, no, but yeah, no, you guys want some rooms? We can get you some spires."
I think we love some spires. Personally.
Sure. Do you guys want 2, 3? If you all do want your individual ones, we can start getting that happening.
I feel like we could make ourselves comfortable with 2. What do you guys think? Or are you in the mood to kick some people out of their homes? I hope
No,
not.
I don't.
I hope you guys would know
No.
better.
Hey, trust me, they wouldn't mind.
Still gives everyone a look.
No, I'm fine with just one.
Sure.
Can we all fit in one?
It's
It'd be a little
spire.
snug, but yeah,
What?
there's
Okay.
like 6 floors, 7 floors.
How can we
depending on the
not
spire.
all fit on a 6th-floor spire?
Oh, well, each room is only about, 10 by 10, 5 by 5, depending on the, width of the spire and how much it curves upwards. And you got the stairs to get in there, so you only really fit, like, 1 to 2 people per room. And there's not all, not all bedrooms. There's some tables in there for common rooms.
Oh, we should be going
There's the
one.
lounging
There's-
room. There's the
There's only
meditation
6 of us.
room. There's the observatory. What? Oh yeah, there's 6 of you. You might be able to fit. You just might have to snuggle up with somebody.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that now that I can smell. No offense, guys.
Oh, now you can smell? You couldn't smell before?
Yeah. No, it's a recent update, but
Oh,
I think we should
congratulations.
get 2. It has not been a pleasant experience so far. I hope
Oh,
I can change that tonight.
My
but-
condolences.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you
more like it.
saying
Thank you.
we stink?
I mean, we're rugged adventurers. The lifestyle is not exactly conducive to,
Oh,
you know.
if you like to bathe, you can bathe as well.
Oh, yes, please.
We have bathhouses here. Yeah, I mean, we got communal ones. We got ones for women, men, and for those who kind of drift or identify in between there. All different sorts of species have their own methods of bathing as well. So we just have some private rooms as well if you'd like to be by yourself in a private bath.
What about frogs and cats?
Frogs and cats.
It's not necessarily frowned upon to bathe with your pets,
But you still have Joe like draped around his neck, and he kind of goes,
oh, you're talking about Joe?
Yeah, and my other friends.
Let me tell you, if you can get that cat in the water, you would be the first. He hates it. Um, but I'm sure frogs would be fine. They're, amphibious creatures.
Yeah. But there's no like specific place, specific path for those guys.
There's not a specific bath for frogs. That may be something we missed in our hindsight for creatures, but they are allowed, I guess, in the communal area as everything and everyone already is, so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anything else I can help you guys with, or two spires? I could point you in the direction of the bathhouse.
It literally just points like down the street, and you can see, again, in a city full of spires, like if you were looking from the height of the tree, you could see everything perfectly in the layout. But also because the buildings aren't like flush right next to one another, there's like a network of alleyways that you can just peer down. You can see a lot of where you're actually going. And you can see there is like a path of cobblestone that branches off to the side of one of the routes where there is steam rising from a house. He just kind of points over. Hey, there's a bathhouse. Two spires over there.
Any bookstores?
Bookstores. We do have a library. I don't know if they're gonna be selling as much if you're looking to take it with you, but if you're looking to browse, by all means, I'm sure they'd be happy to open up some tomes for you.
I'm good. We can just go bathe. Let's go bathe.
All right, have fun, kids.
Where's a good place to eat? The best place, actually.
Eat.
The best.
Ooh. Tara's Tooth. Tara's Tooth is the kind of. There's some communal areas of which food is provided if needed, but there is some privately run, kind of more bartering businesses. Tara's Tooth is one of the best places you're gonna get around here for anything that is gonna be either exotic is kind of a word probably only used for visitors because we get a lot of different plants around here, but you can get some of the freshest and most luxurious meals of your life there.
I don't
I
know
eat
if
there every single week, and it feels like I get something new every time.
delicious is the word I'm looking for. Can you promise me that?
Hey, if you walk out of there unsatisfied, I'll give you my tower for the night. How about that?
All right, you're betting big. All right, I like my odds. Okay.
I also live alone, and I don't have much stuff with me, so it wouldn't be too much of a loss.
Oh.
Don't get any ideas, Kipley.
Well, it just sounds like that was an invitation for you.
Oh, wow, those are some big ideas.
Oh,
This
well,
is
no,
a
I
very
didn't
little
mean it like
man.
that. If you like to stop by for some company, I love chatting, but, I don't want to impose it upon you.
You're very sweet, Norman. And like everyone here, your hospitality is just off the charts. But we'll see how the night goes.
Hey, appreciate it. Have a good one.
He just flies off, and you see he flies like into the window of another house. You hear it goes,
Hey, Bartholomew, my friend, how are you? Oh, Jimmy.
and he just starts like talking to a different group of people. Yeah, you guys make your way down to the bathhouse. You can see there is this kind of massive furbolg woman that is behind the counter. And there is no currency or trade provided. She just, as you approach, goes, "Hello. If you're liking to view the bathhouses, we have a place where you can store all your equipment and your clothes. We have towels, or if you prefer to just go in one of the nudist areas, you can do that as well. I just try not to mix and match if you're gonna do one. It's just safer to take a towel, anyways.
Okay.
All right. Which would you like to go into the communal one? Would you like private rooms? Would you like to do species specific? Any gender specific?
Send me to the communal. I was never taught to be shy.
All right. She hands you a towel, but the towels here aren't like. There is processed material here, but these are very much just like very basic rags. There's still a length to fit people, but like the quality's not great.
Mid-tier linens.
It is very mid-tier linens. You can see a lot of people's clothing here as well kind of reflects that. Alright, the rest of you all going into the communal.
Can I go into a private one?
Yeah, of course.
I
Hands you a
also
towel.
on a private one.
Hands you a towel.
Thank you.
How about you, stranger? Hey, look at you. You're as tall as me, almost. That's funny.
I can do communal.
You know this? Gives you a towel. It's not specific towels or like giving you any like specific keys or rooms. They're just pointing you in different directions. He goes, all right, private one's over there. Communal one over there. Enjoy. If there's any specific personal items or anything that needs to be guarded in the meantime, you can leave them with me.
Yes, I definitely have stuff I don't want getting stolen. You said the safest place is up here?
Alright, I have a little box under here.
Alright. Hand it over. Or do I handle
They take
my
a crate and they put it on the table, and you can see it's just filled with people's stuff. It's like somewhat organized, but it is just kind of
Oh.
pouches. And she hands you a pouch. It's about the size of like a small. God, I want to say it's not like a normal like. What's the tiny purses that people carry? That's like you can barely fit anything inside of them.
Just like
It's
a
not
coin purse?
Yeah, kind of like a coin purse, but like very compact, like a very thin thing of leather that has a strap on it,
Ah.
and
Like a clutch or something?
yeah, it is more like a clutch. You could fit maybe like if you had to put like the Prime Monica in here, if you still had it, it would barely fit just that.
No, I think this might be too small. You know,
Oh, would you like another? And they hand you another one on top of that.
Oh, okay. He pulls out the Primonica, and the Primonica is like the same size as like his forearm.
Well, remember,
trying to
you have
around it.
you don't have the Prime Monica on you. You have the new one that Yan gave you. You can summon and desummon it.
Oh, I thought it was a physical thing. All right,
No,
never mind.
well, no, it is a physical. It is a physical weapon, and you do keep it in your holster. But it's also your hex weapon, so you can pop that bad boy in and out of your pocket dimension whenever you want.
Okay. Well, you guys see him like fidgeting with the bags and trying to like sandwich these two bags over the Primonica, and suddenly it just disappears, and he looks mortified.
Just hear a slight little chuckle in your mind. Do not worry, my friend. It will be safe.
He visibly like sounds like, oh, his shoulders relax, and
You just hear like pistol sounds off in the distance.
he's stuck
Yeah.
dragging his feet in the communal direction.
Yeah, Durdon and Mustang head off to the communal, and Kipling and Mammoth head off to your private rooms. You see, Zyrus also opts for communal, um, as she's just she's going with the majority. Is there anything? Probably spent 30 minutes discussing taking baths. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna make you RP like 4 hours of bath time if you don't want to. Is there anything specific that you guys want to do in the bathhouse? If there's any conversations you want to have, or anything you want to try and do in the private rooms?
I want to describe every splash that we make.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
And
You can start, Megan.
ripples in the water.
I'm all ears.
Huh?
Right. So, okay, no,
Guide us, weaver of words.
let me pull up a quick chat GPT here.
Just give me describe how water works. Cool.
2 hours worth of dialogue.
Besides describing how you splash about, is there any conversations or anything you guys would like to have on the bathhouse?
Mammoth just wants to see if he can get Bruce and Joe to get along.
I need you.
Yeah, bath time.
So here's the thing. Can you hit a 25 on a persuasion check?
No.
If you gave yourself guidance, could you hit that?
No. Yeah.
Okay. I think it would be a crit for you, right? You would need a natural 20.
I would need a crit and a 4 on the guidance.
Cool. Yeah, if you want to try and bring Joe in the water, that's what it's going to take. The second that you get near it, he immediately disapparates from your neck and reapparates on the ceiling.
Oh. Okay, well, I rolled a 10.
10? Cool. Yeah, you see, he's just... Again, he doesn't go hair on end and growls or hisses, but he just full claws digging into the ceiling and then just kind of digs into the wall and climbs on the wall a little bit. And there is a small little inlet where you can put your towels and such, and if you had any personal belongings you wanted to bring in with you. And he just kind of curls up on there and enjoys the steam, but does not get in the water. Bruce is a frog, so he does just hop in there if you want to summon him and enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you summon Bruce. He pops in, looks at the bath. It's a little hotter than usual for him, but he enjoys it. Cool. Anything else?
Kipley, we don't need Arpia, but she just, I think she probably just has some comfortable time and just has, even if it's talking to herself, she's having conversation with Ezrin. Just kind of explaining everything that's gone on. And
give me a we're gonna call this a charisma saving throw. $15? Okay. It's not you kind of subconsciously reach out in doing so. And while you're just kind of muttering to yourself and Ezrin, you don't get a physical connection as you did back on the roof in Paradise Peak of the guild hall when you were talking with him.
Mm-hmm.
But you do see little wisps of black smoke mix with the steam as it rises occasionally. You don't know how much he's listening or if there is even a full connection, but
that never mattered in the
there's a
past.
semblance. No, it didn't. And it continues on.
Mm-hmm.
Mustang and Duradon, you doing anything?
Gonna ask Duradon a question, but he's gone.
Jared has left the
I
building.
can play in his spot.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sure he'll be
All
fine
right.
with it. Do your best Jared impression.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that. Mustang, he's slouched in the hot spring and here the bath, and he's like, why do people smell so bad? I woke up one of these mornings, and I rolled over and I gave myself a sniff, and I was like, "Whoo! Oh my goodness! It felt like my nose got a little burned. Why does that happen? It's terrible."
You see
Yeah.
Cyrus is on the opposite side of the bath and she goes, "Oh, you've been made of ash your entire life.
Yeah,
So you've
well, as you
always
noticed.
smelt bad, but you've never actually smelt yourself, have you?"
No.
Right. Yeah, so normal bodies excrete, like, sweat from themselves to moderate temperature, and it tends to kind of leave a semi-foul odor, and especially if you go for long distances without traveling or long times between bathing, it builds up, and especially with some nasty grime and mud, doesn't smell great.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's terrible. Why didn't anyone tell me that before I made this choice?
That would have been the breaker for you?
It would have been nice to know so I
Smell?
could mentally prepare myself. Can you do anything to prevent it?
Oh yes, of course. She casts prestidigitation. You immediately
Is
smell
that
of lavender.
Oh, that is nice. But is that the only way?
Magically speaking, yes.
Oh. What about non-magically?
Oh, you can use soap.
I won't, because I can cast prestidigitation, but it's good to know. In
Oh,
case
that's
I don't
kind
know any
of
of you are
disgusting.
Wait, so
No,
what makes it? What's the difference then? If one's disgusting and one's not?
joking. Well, prestidigitation, let me be clear. Prestidigitation isn't the equivalent of washing yourself. It just makes you smell good. You will still feel dirty if you are. Like, you can clean yourself technically with it. But if you solely rely on that, it's just kind of it's still nice to use the natural elements of the world to bathe yourself.
Okay. I asked all these questions not to tick you off. I genuinely need to
No, I can
know
tell. I
because
can tell. No, I get it. I get it.
so many different smells coming out of so many different orifices all the time, everywhere.
Oh
It's
yeah, no.
terrible.
Yeah, you're gonna go into like a whole phase of just finding out how the human body works. That's gonna most likely suck for you, but I'm sure we can act as guides.
God, when does this get fun?
Well, you will find that part and you will understand. There are many.
All right,
'Cause
you
I
keep
don't.
your secrets.
Well, for one thing, I'm gonna say I don't think you experienced any of the natural chemicals that occur inside of a humanoid body. Like I don't think you really felt like adrenaline before or anything like that. So you probably, whenever you got excited, you probably only got like mentally excited. Like your skin will crawl and like will get all jumpy when you're either in a fight or if you're. Oh, well, you were previously in a fight. You got crushed by rocks, so you probably didn't get that far.
Yeah, I can't say it was actually very enjoyable. And then I was unconscious.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get there. You'll see it. Oh look, Duradon's woken up from his stupor. You can ask him questions now.
Oh.
I don't know, you're pretty thorough there, Zyrus.
All right. You do you. Duradon, what would you say is the best part about having a physical body? Or at least get
Sex.
a snippet. Okay.
It was pretty great without a physical body, too.
I
Hi.
don't know what it's like.
Believe it.
I have some questions how that works on like a physical level because could you feel everything you did?
But in a way, but it's not about me. It's about, who's there, who I'm with. It's not about what I get out of it.
There's a whole
Says a
bunch
man
of
that's never
questions.
busted a nut. It's
Ah, I was gonna find a more adequate way of phrasing that, but
So when you
man, you
have no
cut to the
choice but to
core.
be a giver, you give, okay?
and I'm just happy you're playing the game, even if you can't win.
These Zyra's just fully breaks. She just slumps into the water.
So have you thought about being your first, experience?
uh, you wouldn't like it.
No, I mean, go for it. This is the communal bath is a safe space.
To share discussions amongst friends.
You know, for shits and giggles, I want to say wave, but I hope he can hear me. I hope he can hear me.
You hope you can,
that
oh
was-
cat.
Can.
Oh,
But I
Have
don't
you
say
ever
it,
thought
so-
about making your move to wave?
Oh no, I'm quite happy with the dynamic we've got going on right now. It's quite easy to yank his chain, and I think that that's all the yanking I need from poor Wave.
isn't that? No, never mind.
Oh, but Cyrus, speak freely, please. I think
No.
we're past the point of employer employee.
I have nothing appropriate to say.
What am I gonna do? Tell HR?
That would be funny if we had a guild HR, but you haven't gotten to that point yet, so. Humanoid resources.
Well, Duradon, here's a question: if you had to set me up with someone, who would you set me up with?
This time or the time we came from?
Any either. Oh, both, neither. Alive or dead? Preferably alive.
Um. Fuck, did I not know a lot of. Duradon processes for a moment that he didn't know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're thinking back. It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of like mercenary sales swords. All the
Yeah.
people in the guild.
It's like, oh god, I didn't have a lot of. Hmm. You know, I could take you to a really good brothel back from our time. I don't, in my line of work, I don't think I met a lot of people that I had an interpersonal, like, relationship with. I mean, there was the guard captain, but that was mainly because I owed him money. I mean, he was cool people too. And then there was my sponsor. Or not sponsor. Yes, sponsor.
Wait, are these people just the people that you know, or people that you've hooked up with?
That I know.
Oh,
No, I haven't
jeez.
dealt with them. No.
I
Scared me there,
did it
brother.
on.
Scared me.
It's a
I
different kind of
mean,
lesson.
yeah, I think I don't have the I think charm to necessitate building those type of dynamics with people of power. Um, I'm not a very charming person, very direct, and that is not sexy most times.
It has charm with certain people. Kind of looks at Cyrus.
Cyrus is not looking at either of you right now.
It's
After the
true.
conversation started to go this way, you see she's just like, just bubbling. Only her head is showing at this point.
Ears are under the water.
Ears under the water.
Do you have a specific like type, or like do you only go for the male persuasion, or are you kind of like
I'll go for any
anybody.
persuasion.
Oh,
But, if I'm being honest, my heart is still 1,000 years in the future. I don't really know if I'll be taking anyone to bed anytime soon.
1,000. Oh, you had somebody.
Yeah, I suppose you guys didn't get to really meet him. Mammoth did, but I do. I had a lover at one point, and he meant the world to me, but I fucked it up because, that's just what I do. Story of my life.
What'd you do?
Uh, Make a long story short, we worked a pretty long job together, and at the end of it, he really, really wanted me to join his brotherhood, and I felt like I couldn't. I didn't want to. It wasn't me. I didn't want to lose my freedom, and I knew it would be cruel to ask him to choose between me or his work, because he loved his work just as much as he loved me, maybe more. So I wrote him a letter, and I left. And in hindsight, I should have let him choose, but I thought I was doing the right thing.
Well, I mean, it can't be that bad, right? You know.
It was. If only you could have seen how hard I floundered when we crossed paths again. It was brutal. It's like watching a wobbly-legged calf get slammed by a winter storm. It was terrible. You would have felt real sorry for me. Maybe not. I deserved it. But he made it clear that we were not even going to be friends for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not good with advising people in heartbreak. That may be like a Zyrus thing, but what I can say, you have a mortal body now. So it's not like you can linger on heartbreak for a long time because you don't have a long time.
This is a wonderful
That's
time to remind
brutal.
me of my creeping mortality. Thank you.
Brutal.
What I just but like in the sense
Listen,
that like you,
Pterodon.
ow, what?
We've only been broken
Okay,
up for a few months.
Also, he's only been a humanoid for like a week and a half, even.
but he looks like he's like in his 40s.
Oh, that's not an excuse to remind someone of mortality.
He
I
has
agree.
like
I'm alone,
30
I'm
good
sad,
years.
and I'm gonna die. I feel fantastic.
No.
Mustang, you'll listen. Okay. One, I'm not good at relationship advice. I'm good at some things, not people, somewhat. Relationships, eh. That aside, I think you should just focus on yourself for the moment, because if you only worry about how they will react or how you can try and make up for what you did, you're going to get stuck in a loop that is self-serving your own nightmares to yourself every day, and that's not good. Just
No,
focus on what you can do, and that's all.
I totally agree. I spent a long time worrying about him, but after meeting him that last time, I realized that I've got other things I need to focus on right now, and
Good.
trying to be who I want to be, and you guys need. I don't know what we need. A lot.
I need a lot. That is true.
I wonder if they got drinks here. Did your druids get drunk? The ones I grew up with did.
It's a good question. I haven't seen a lot of drinks in people's hands, but give me a perception check. As you kind of asked that.
Perceive. Right. Give me my skills, please. plus 7. Don't fail me now. Okay, 17.
17? 100%. You have seen people not only just in the bathhouse, but just open carrying around various different mugs of beverages, some alcoholic, some not. Listen, this is Druid Grove. First off, you think wine's not going to exist here? You're crazy. Second off, with 17 perception, and what's Mustang's passive insight? Is it anywhere between like 13 and above?
I think it is above. I think it might be 14.
Cool. Let me just check. Yeah, 14. So you kind of just get the sense because you've been around some druids before. You've seen their lifestyles. When you have a people or peoples who live longer than most, and whether that's because they're humanoid lineages, they're elven lineages, that's just expanded upon by the druid halfway of life, you have a lot of downtime to explore things of how to make that kind of recreational free time better. And especially with druids, they normally tend to lean towards what nature offers them for either psychedelic mushrooms to experimenting with different crops they can grow, some of which are going to provide food, some of which are going to be turned into various different beverages for meads, for ale, for wine, whatever they can get. They, at least druids from your time, you don't know how well that's going to hold up here, but you did see some similar elements. And this is a pretty good environment to grow a vineyard in, so.
Duly noted. Putting on my to-do list to get wasted before we leave.
But yeah. As we kind of zoom out of there for the moment, is there anything else that you guys would like to do before you undergo the ritual? Anything that you want to stop in town? Any research that you want to do? You can meet Elle and Rel tomorrow. Oh, you mean you're gonna miss the ritual? What time do you have to leave, Ash?
Like in 5 minutes.
Oh, brutal. I thought you meant you had to leave at like 11. I was like, okay, good, we're ending
I
session
thought we
anyway.
normally ended at 8. I don't know why I gotta leave here within the next 6 minutes, I believe. FOMO, fucking FOMO, dude.
Well, we can message tomorrow. Just hit me up on Discord and we can go for what Mustang experiences and if you have any questions and stuff like that for there.
No.
Cool. Is there anything that you specifically want to do before you leave, Ashton? Besides the ritual?
No, a Mustang would just do his normal Mustang activities, getting food, chatting people up, getting some drinks.
Okay. Sure.
Making sure he's nice and loose for the tree.
Oh man, you're gonna miss Rel and L too.
I'm dying. Yes, I know. I'll type
We
some
can save
questions.
that. We'll save that for next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless you want to have like a quick 5-minute conversation with them now, we can save them next
It's
week.
not gonna be quick, and we both know it.
Yeah, no, I know. Cool. So, from there, anybody else want to do anything besides the bathhouse? Or are we heading off for the ritual at night?
Yeah.
Going
make a
once.
Ritual.
Going twice. Sold. So, you all make yourselves decent again. Kind of the bath. Again, it's like a medium hot spring. It's not necessarily too hot here because you assume it's not a lot of like, naturally run volcanic activity. There's probably heated bathhouses that are run through either spellcraft or like physically just heated stone. But it is still a wild thing to have of relaxing in such a manner while you're on a journey like this, especially after traveling for as long as you have. You do feel much more refreshed. And as you make your way back to um, Elisander, excuse me, you see the great tree is once again kind of just overcasting this massive shadow over the city. As you begin to approach it, you get that weird kind of vertigo where kind of like the same thing where you're looking, if anyone's ever stood at the bottom of like the Washington Monument or any kind of like large building, and you just look straight up, you just get that weird sense of scope for height. uh Same effect here, but doubled or tripled with how big this thing is. And you make your way back inside, and you can see Kalhara is still there. She is in the middle of kind of wrapping up things. Not with a bunch of people. You can see that most of the church is still empty, but there is a few individuals in particular she's just talking to that she kind of dismisses as she sees you approach and goes, "Oh, it looks like you all enjoyed some of our some of our finer remedies when it comes to relaxation. You all look well rested, and if you would like to begin, I would be happy to show you the way."
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
I will brace you. There can be initial rejection, or there can be initial issues connecting to Sander. Take your time. Just allow yourself to flow into the control of this kind of method of communication we're going to be using. If you fight it, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So, trust us. I will be watching over you for a period of time to make sure that you are well seated and well settled. And I think you'll find all the answers that you are looking for. Good night, Eric. Good night, Ash. Oh, fuck. We listed. Miss her already. So she goes, "All right, well, let us go." And she brings you deeper inside the tree. You can see there is pathways that kind of go along the side of the tree. Like there's steps going up, but there's not a lot of paths in. You can probably get due to the respect of the actual tree. They probably are only using natural divots and pathways that kind of spiral through the tree itself. But there is one that leads deep into the actual tree. And as you're going, not down, but up, further in and up, you get to what you probably would presume to be like maybe half a mile up into the air, with how much climbing that you are doing. It's kind of like when you're walking up the Empire State Building and you're like, "Oh, this is going to be like a cool little thing that we'll say like we've done." And then you see there's 700 floors that you have to walk up, and you're like, "Oh, this is much less cool when I'm actively sweating in a stairwell this small." It is a very kind of condensed area. You do have to go single file, but you follow her up to this chamber that is completely pitch dark. Your dark vision does work in here, so everything is kind of grayscaled out. And for those with Devil's Sight, you can see a little bit better in here, but you can see the room is kind of just this interior log of the tree. The walls, of course, built with the same wood, and there's not any furniture or anything in here. But at the end of the room, sitting across from the entrance, you can see this place doesn't look like it's been hollowed out, but looks like this is a natural hollow in the tree that kind of grew over time, from an original crack. And there's some what looks like to be splintered wood at first, but then you realize it's kind of draped vines that hover over a small kind of dip. A small little, almost kind of looks like an empty tub. But there's multiple different little pods that kind of sink into the tree itself. and all have these vines draped over them. You see Kalahara kind of gestures for all of you to gather around and goes, all right, so to begin, all you have to do is enter inside the enter inside the various different indents into Elsanda. They will assist with this as I speak with them. And you're going to feel some of the vines beginning to wrap around you. Do not panic, do not fight them, please do not cut them or damage them in any way, as they are extraordinarily sacred, but also your direct method of communication. So if you hurt them, this is going to be a very negative experience for you and everyone here. If you have any concerns or kind of, you know, questions that you would like to put forward before going into this, now would be the time. As you will be in a state of semi-unconsciousness for the next few hours. Well, maybe minutes for those of you who don't have a strong connection with it.
I didn't think so.
Okay. Well, open your mind. I will assist in trying to relax you and simply be honest, be truthful with your intentions, and you will have no issues. She gestures for all of you to enter inside the little divots. Does everybody follow in, or does anyone stay outside?
Follow in. Or I follow in.
Okay. Ma'am, if I assume you as well enter one of the pods.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Mustang will enter the one kind of like the far side of the room, and the rest of you all enter inside these small little. Again, it is kind of like burying yourself in sand, but in this case, burying yourself in a tree. There is moss in here, and it is kind of like it's comfortable in the fact that there's enough elements of like vine and plant material that you're not just like lying on hard wood. But it is still kind of rigid enough that it takes a moment for all of you to get comfortable inside of each of your pods. And after a moment, you can feel, even without Kaihar saying or doing anything, the vines immediately begin to descend from the top of this room and begin to gently embrace you. And you can feel them beginning to move down your arm, almost like a hand, very gently beginning to move over your skin, and then wrapping and entwining itself, getting a little bit more constricted and beginning to fully encompass you.
Yeah.
Not to the point where you can't breathe, or not to the point where you feel like if you wanted to move, you couldn't, but just beginning to wash over you, almost like a net of vine and tree work. And as this happens, you can see Kalahar beginning to mumble and cast a spell. And all of you, if you would like to, can fail under the effects of calm emotions to help keep you at a state of ease throughout this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel.
Wait, like someone's gonna cast it on us, or?
Oh yeah, Kalahar is casting calm emotions.
Oh.
If you would not like to participate, you can absolutely choose to resist. You feel this is not like an active use of the spell like it would be in like a combative mode, or if it's like the regular use of it. This is offering for anyone that would like to, while going the process of like having your face covered could be a little bit concerning. Essentially offering this as like an assistance.
Yeah, I don't. No, Kifli wouldn't like it.
Sure. So she kind of just casts it on Mammoth and Duradon, and you're kind of, she keeps you outside of the radius. As you're staying fully aware in your own state. Duradon, Mammoth, you guys are completely chilled out. You feel these vines wrapping around you. Man, already not as much concern, but even for you, Durdon, you're kind of your very valid concerns are being brought up in your head. You just feel a little bit more at ease as the vines block out your vision. Your eyesight goes dark. Close your eyes, and you can feel that same static buzz that you felt when you first entered through the gateway. The connection of various different portals that Kalhar referred to before. That buzzing sensation where it feels like you're moving through static begins to set through your head, moving throughout your body. And you feel yourself almost like in a state of existence that you've not yet felt before. Almost as if you yourself are no longer made of the same material. Feels like almost you're being acclimated into the tree. And I'm going to need each of you to go ahead. You're not going to be adding any of your modifiers to this, but you will be adding your level to this. So everyone go ahead and roll me a d20 plus 8. Let me know the result. Dirty 20 for Mammoth.
16.
16 for Duradon.
Plus 8.
Okay. And a 13. Gotcha. Anyone looking to modify any of those rolls? Do you have inspiration? You can use the d6 to either add onto what you already rolled or re-roll.
I'll use inspiration to re-roll the d20.
Sure.
I want to do that too.
Go for it. Man, if you staying with the 12.
Yeah.
Cool. Can't believe a dirty 20 as well. Durdon with a 24. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, luckily, with the rerolls, you all pass. I can't believe it was a little concerning before. This is the initial connection to Lysander. As all of you begin to close your eyes and begin to give up this feeling of consciousness, you feel not just your mind beginning to relax, for those of you that are under the spell of calm emotions, but you feel in a very similar way, because a lot of you had voices inside of your head, you feel a presence beginning not to reach out to you in any way that you've felt before. Because many of you have felt people that have either asked to be invited inside of your head and or invited themselves into your head. This is a presence that envelops your own mind. So opposed to you having a direct connection with somebody that you can either view their mental state or correspond with them, it is as if you yourself are being dipped in an ocean rather than you willingly entering a swimming pool. The consciousness that you are trying to reach is so abstractly large and old, and also is communicating without language, so there's no direct word or language that you're trying to be as common ground. As you begin to give yourself to unconsciousness, all of you beating a 15, immediately your eyes close and you drift into the state of unconsciousness. But as time goes on, minutes of this deep kind of quiet settle over you. And you each begin to feel a question. As we go down in the Discord for purposes of ease, Kipley,
Mhm.
you feel a question be prompted to you, not by language or words, but simply the image that appears in your mind. What does happiness look like for Kipley upon the first thought of the word?
Oh, first thought. She
It could be a memory, it could
sees.
be an ideal.
Yeah, I think she sees Ezrin first and foremost, just standing before her, and then kind of just off and behind him to the side, it would be probably Vince. And then this imaginary home built on a built into a beautiful like mountainside, not too dissimilar to like Maeve's, but much
Like the Tambalas, yeah.
so much smaller and a bit more humble.
I got you. As that memory goes out, you get a response. Before we get to that, Mammoth. What in Mammoth's mind is the biggest obstacle you've overcome? The biggest challenge that you have feel like you have succeeded in overcoming?
Um, I'd say learning, uh, like that actions have consequences, like from having to go back to the past, like in the whole, like in the first place, you
Mm-hmm.
can't just do things willy-nilly and expect to like not have to deal with them down the line.
Duradon. I'm so sorry. I'm rolling for each of these, and this is so brutal for you.
Oh,
What is the deepest loss Duradon has felt? And either a sense of ideals being taken away, or a memory that is brought up by the sense of loss.
um, I think generally it's his family. Um, but I think specifically it is the death of his little brother. Because um family is of course going to be drastic, but his brother was meant to serve a larger purpose that in a way betrayed the entirety of like the clan.
Mhm.
um so I guess his brother's death.
Okay. Kipley.
Yes.
What do you think is the greatest mortal sin that you would accurately describe yourself as being and or having? When it comes to either greed, envy, sloth, lust, anything of that, or anything outside of that if you think of something else.
I think they would see that Elsando would see brief visions of betrayal, like from the scene of her parents, the scene of Percy, the scene of herself when she hurt Maeve, and just kind of so on and so on.
Okay. Distrust? Gotcha. Mammoth. What is brought to mind and or what memory is shown when you are looking at the happiest moment of your life?
Wait, what was the first half of that?
I think what memory or experience is shown when you're thinking of the happiest moment of your life?
Um, he definitely thinks back to the time when all of us contestants are like standing in a line and we're all just have been dubbed vassals, and he meets the entire gang and starts his life as an adventurer.
Beautiful. Sheridan.
You.
When you think of the greatest strength that you offer not only the party, but to the world, what would that be? How does Durdan think of himself as useful?
He doesn't.
There's a lack of that.
Yeah, Dordon. Is it if it is specifically how he feels about himself and
Correct.
usefulness, then he doesn't.
Okay. There's an immediate expansion on the question. What is your purpose of living that you have found?
Um,
Why do you
to re
continue to wake up every morrow?
to repay debts that he acquired just from living.
And last one. Kipling.
Oh, yes.
If you were looking to gain one of the two, which would you take if you could have only one in your hands? The power to shape or the power to learn?
To shape.
Mammoth. What would you define as being more useful? Being able to be everywhere at once and to see all, or having the ability and the knowledge that you will outlast all?
Having the ability to be everywhere at once.
Okay. Duradon.
Hmm.
It was going to be a different question, but because of that answer.
Oh no.
What would you say is more important? The fact that you get to see a dawn where you know you are free and have nothing to drag you into debts, ties, or pacts? Or knowing that everything you care about will have that same feature?
Is Dordon answering with his head or his heart? Like, is this
It's whatever you choose. It's not a mental game. This is whatever the first thing that you would truly answer. It's not using one aspect of like wisdom or anything like that. This is just the truest answer you could provide as a person.
you would outwardly say the first while feeling the second. Yeah.
So you would like to be free, but the priority of others is more important.
Yeah.
Okay. All three of you can feel a buzz beginning to set in, far different than what you initially felt. As if your bodies themselves are beginning to almost vibrate, shake, stir. You're unconscious, but you can begin to feel limbs beginning to spasm. Some of you in a painful and sharp way. Others can feel numbness beginning to set in. Where you can feel either blood flow beginning to leave the area, or your body feeling like it's constricted to the point where none can reach. And then at the same time, you all reach a different state of being. Kipley. You find yourself sitting in an open field. It's a clear day. White, fluffy clouds lining the sky. You see, for easier sense of reference, what appears to be a hobbit-like hole in a nearby hill. And around you, it is mainly empty. It's almost like you're viewing a portion of what you would actually normally be able to see. Almost as if you've reached a point in a game where a chunk of an area hasn't loaded yet, and your vision's cut off before you can see what is next to behold. The plane seems to be endless, but you feel that is not true. You know there is a finite nature to this. And sitting across from you, you see there is a figure that bears the resemblance of someone that you have met, and is immediately a face that brings concern. As you see sitting across from you is the face of Percival Rennell.
Ooh.
And we'll get to that in a second. Mammoth. As your mind begins to meld into this state, as you open your eyes, you are in the void. You see off in the distance a blue pearl with what can only be described as the most abstract beauty you've ever experienced. And you can see around it countless other pearls like it. You can see some bright, some dull, some gray, some with a similar shade of blue, others with a vibrant red. All of them feeling like they are miles apart and ever so far away. We can still feel the warmth. You can still feel you can almost smell the sea spray, and you can almost taste the dryness of a desert sandstorm. And all of these effects washing over you at once. And you feel a hand on your shoulder. And for a moment, it almost feels like you're turning around to see Mary. But as you turn around, you instead see the face of Mustang. And not the humanoid version of how you originally met him in the smoke-filled body. kind of blending into the nearby terrain for a moment until you blink and see that the brightness of the stars around you begin to illuminate his body. Durdon. As you open your eyes, you can see there is an open ocean in front of you, and you are at the bow of a ship. Feeling the cold ocean waves kind of spraying mist up into the air and washing over your body, you're filled with this innate sense of traveling, reaching a destination, or excuse me, on your way to reach a destination of which you don't know where the end is. And as you turn around, you see the face of Entreus. Smiling, sitting at the wheel of the ship, the helm, excuse me, smiling about, kind of in the same lazy garb, which is just chest sort of bare with a striped toga running down the center, a bit of garnished leaves wrapped around his head, forming almost a kind of fluorescent crown, but you can tell not fully tied together with the most apt of hands. And you can see, as you look out towards the waves, in the distance, that destination, that question is met with an answer, as you see your home, your island, soon to be met, only a few miles off. Start with you. Before you actually make conversation, in your case specifically, I'm going to need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, of which you can use your statistics. However, I'm going to need you to roll me a charisma saving throw. That of which I just need a d20.
Cool. Charisma saving throw. I'm gonna use an inspiration.
Oh,
19. Cool.
19. Good. Okay, and the wisdom.
For the wisdom.
You do have advantage on it.
Advantage. Huzzah! And I will use inspiration for that. I'm down to the last one. Alright, come on.
One more die. 17. Okay. Do you want to use your last d6 roll on that, or are you going to stay with 17?
If it is a fail, do I still have the talisman from Kipley?
Ooh. I say, yeah, you will. Go ahead and roll me a d4.
Gang. 18.
18.
And
Okay.
I will use the final d6.
Use the d6.
Yeah.
Please get a 1. For pure comedic effect.
Innately feel
You got
superior
one!
enough.
I was fucking dare you.
Oh my god. Used
Yeah.
every single bit of resource and still didn't get a 20. You poor soul. Okay. Cool. You feel this connection, while it is established, is extraordinarily profound, as you hear Entreus call out from the deck.
beautiful sight, my friend. There's many people that I've met before that have created similar visions. Yours is one of grief and sadness, and I'm truly sorry that you've had to bear this alone for as long as you have. But I can see your intentions are true and one of who desires freedom. I have to say, based on what I know and what I have experienced, I believe you are on the path to finding it, although it seems like it is miles away from you, unseen and unattainable. I would say not to lose hope just yet. But that aside, that is not why you are here. You've come to ask questions and to learn, and I am here to answer. What would Durdon Bashala seek in my roots? And this is Antreus speaking, and it is his voice. Even with your passive insight alone, you know this is not actually Antreus.
Gotcha. It's just a creature choosing, I guess.
You would assume this is the tree.
Jordan will say, I was named Guardian by an aspect of, I guess, you, and
that I can sense.
I think I just wanted to better understand what I would be defending, and if you were to become like a shell of yourself, or a whittled and nearly dead version of yourself, is there a way to revive you or bring you back to your former health?
To reach a hand out to others before serving yourself is a truly noble pursuit of what I can respect. I have already perished, my boy. I am long since gone in your world. What you are speaking to is one that you could refer to as the original. My mortal body died in the realm of men, and I sense that is the aspect of which asked you to become its bearer. You may plant seeds, and they may grow again. Whether it is the same life as the one before it, or a new life with new purpose, that is something for you to discover. As for your duties, I think you know what those are. You are not just a guardian. Protectors of people, of flesh, blood, and bones only. Only accomplish an aspect of what I ask of you. Ask that you protect life. Not just the natural world, are all different kinds of people and creatures, beautiful intelligences, and beasts who roam without them. You will feel his guiding hand, and you will know to what you need to stand in front of, and to what you need to, or can, simply stand behind and let pass. And for you, on that charisma saving throw, which I am so sorry is a fail, you feel a struggle in your chest. It's not painful, but it feels like it's constricted and fighting. And for a moment, you hear the faintest of voice. Home. I feel it. Home. You are nearby. My origins. I understand. Home. I am coming. I need to protect it. I need to return. And you can feel a strain against what can only be described as chains locking you in place, although your body feels free in this moment to move. Go ahead and give me an insight check.
You saw it?
Go ahead and make this with advantage, actually. Take the higher of these two.
That's a 15.
15? Cool. You feel in this moment as you kind of flash back to what happened before. It would be funny if it wasn't, in fact, a 40-foot tall problem that you're dealing with. As Elsander and Esclados have a moment of contact, and you can feel Esclados wakes up. As the walkers are put into sleep for not just the protection of all of you, it's for the protection of them as well, as it's very dangerous for them to operate by themselves, as a lot of them are beings or parts of beings that once existed and only draw upon their power. You look and you are both seeing the vision before you, and at the same time you are seeing the inside of Noelle's workshop, and you are feeling the chains beginning to strain and break, and you feel the innate desire to return to exactly where you know you need to be.
This isn't good.
Anything that you would like to do in this moment?
Jordan will try to, I guess, mask his location from Esclados, so maybe it'll pass.
Huh? Okay. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check with disadvantage.
Choose
Stealth at disadvantage.
You're essentially trying to. It knows where you are. You're essentially just trying to 11. No. You try and again. This isn't you in like a natural like hide sort of way where you're trying to blend in terrain. It's you trying to hide your position from a being who shares a mental link with you and has just felt your connection to essentially what would be itself or what it used to be. And as you kind of just try and like subtly control your body and its natural awakened aura to kind of like whittle down to the tiniest aspect of itself, you feel it goes to no effect or vein as Esclados back in Noelle's workshop begins to strain, and you hear the pop of metal as chains drop, and one shatters and bursts. You can see metal goes flying across the workshop, indenting into the walls. As Escados begins to rip out, you see the two chained axes, the drake heads, drop and begin to scream against the rest of the metal chains holding it in place. And you hear a terrified Scottish dwarf go, right, what in the actual... Oh, shit. Calm down, big guy. And she goes, you see Noelle begins to run across the workshop towards it, and Escaldos looks off at the doorway and sees the stained glass window looking out on a mountainside and begins to and we cut away from there. Mammoth, sitting in space, not fully knowing your location, but grasping the idea that you are looking at a bigger picture. You see the disembodied, kind of ghostly form of Mustang drifting next to you. The burning red eyes, as you remember, the smile kind of etched into his face. And you hear, sorry Ash, if you're listening back on this. Hey there, Squirt. Welcome home. It's been a long time since we have seen each other, and it is good to see you again.
It's always good to see you.
What would you like to see?
What do you want to show me?
Alright. You want me to take the reins?
Yeah.
Alright, partner. I hope you enjoy the ride. It's been a long time since you've seen this, so it may look different than you originally remember. But this should answer some of your bigger questions. And you feel yourself being moved closer to that big blue pearl in the distance. And almost like being shunted rapidly through space. You find yourself in Cold Stone. Looking up at a pitch black night. You can feel the ground beneath you. You can... as you look around, you can see and you can actually interact. Like, you can see the surroundings. You can see essentially a barren landscape. Think of like a completely flat, cold, dead planet. Very similar to how the moon would look like. But you can tell this is where you are from. This is still the same prime material plane. This is still the same, although it is past your current understanding, planet you were born on. And you hear something off in the distance. Ting. 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 Kind of quietly off. You see sparks. You turn and you look. You see there is this large figure standing what could be 20, maybe 25 feet tall. Back kind of hunched over this large kind of column. And about 5 to 6 feet off the ground, it kind of smooths out. And you can see there's just this slab in front of them. And you can see what looks like to be a mold. And this figure taking the hammer
slamming it down repeatedly on the mold as there is a glowing liquid inside. Like, ting, 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 continue without noticing you there. Watch the mold sets, the light dims, and they pull out a body, unmoving, laying it onto the ground. They take one of their large fingers and kind of gently place it against a completely featureless face. You hear a voice. You are in front of me. I see you. You will become something so beautiful. My vision for you is this world to become yours. All of the creations, my brothers, my sisters, even my father is made, all of which has come to an end. You will be my greatest gift to this new world. The hammer comes out. Ting, ting, now beating against what looks like to be only about maybe a 4-foot length creature. Again, it has a humanoid shape to it, but very basic outline. You can tell there's literally no features or distinctive traits to it. You see as this individual hammers repeatedly over and over and over. It feels like this goes on for hours, but you feel this is not hours. This is days going into years of this before finally a spark drifts up from the body and begins to float up into the sky. You kind of follow its trajectory as it goes up, drifting away as the individual seems to follow it as well. It goes, I am missing something. You need something. Yes. Form. You need form. They drop the hammer. And you can see they cup their hands together as if to blow into them to warm themselves. And you see as they release a breath and open their palms up to the sky. And you watch as it goes from a complete, dead, and cold, lifeless, lightless exterior to blossoms. Almost like thousands of explosions occurring at once. The sky becomes a bright coalition of stars, connecting to one another, lighting up into a beautiful web of light. And you can see illuminated this figure. Gray of skin and kind of long dark hair falling onto their back. They look more alien than humanoid. And not in the fact that it's a necessarily like extra planar being. But their features seem just too different from humanoids. Their ears aren't quite right. The way their face comes together. They're lacking what would be a normal humanoid
form, features. But you can see still yet they stand there looking up into the night sky. And a smile crosses, kind of cutting over the bottom of the face. You see it goes, "You are born. You are whatever you want to be. And that is my only wish for you. You may repeat as many cycles as you wish, and may you learn and grow from each one. When you are ready, come find me, and I will be waiting." And you watch as that starlight hits the cast, and it hits the mold. You see as what appears to be like this kind of basic stone or some type of like earthy, hardened clay. The same figure that he made all those years ago. The chest rises and falls. No eyes open, but instead a blanket of star-like energy. That's very similar looking blue net forms over them. You watch as this almost doll-like creation stands up and looks around at an empty landscape. You see by now the world has begun to shift. Craters and mountains beginning to rise and fall. Off in the distance, semblance of change can be seen in the basically flat landscape. And you watch as they begin to march towards it. You see years go by, and a similar vision of what already has actually been described before in this campaign is seen. You see this creature interacting with a man by the name of Obo Ono. You see them conversing, not through language, but through hand signals, trying to learn what one another is. You see this innate magic allows them to craft constellations into the sky to try and deliver messages. And you see this man, this being of flesh and blood, responding and beginning to learn and beginning to adapt to this. You see this goes by and continues, and this individual begins to repeatedly interact with everything he comes across. You watch as one of the primal beings, one of the first fire elementals to reach through its hand into this plane, begins to attack and sink a flaming fist into this creature. And the creature does not melt or break. It simply almost like de-atomizing almost, just disappears and completely is gone. And you see as that creature simply walks away in its victory. And years later, rematerializing, forming from the dust beneath, that same doll-like creature remains and continues marching forward, as if encounter never happened. You see the first oasis beginning to form as water begins to surge, grass and greenery beginning to grow, and you see a young planet beginning to develop and the first peoples beginning to found it. You see more people like Ibo Ono, various different humanoids, bearing from different species, speaking different language, writing different language. And all throughout this, you see this individual existing, learning, drifting through, never settling in one place, but repeating the same pattern of every few years falling apart and needing to be reformed. You're unsure of how many cycles it takes for that to happen. But as time rapidly progresses, you see the figure of Mustang reappear beside you as rapidly begin to see civilization emerge from nature. You see people beginning to gaze up at the stars and wonder what they are. You can hear thousands of different voices whispering in your head, wondering what the lights mean, if they're the gods themselves, if it's showing you a pathway to Celestia, wondering if it means the hopes and dreams of others being unlaid into the stars, if their desire is strong enough, wondering if those are other worlds, other peoples. All of these different voices reaching out, you can feel each of their intents and questions forming and all coming at you at once. And you see that figure continuing on until he meets an old man with a walking stick. You see the faceless figure looks up at him. After seeing countless individuals like him already, the figure immediately knows this one is different. In the very same way that as you see this figure approach, you have the same intuition. This is not like the others. There's something off about them. You see as the older man smiles and asks him, "Tell me, have you enjoyed your journey? Have you found what has been put in front of you to be a pleasant experience?" The figure does not answer. "I see a flaw in the plan. You can only communicate and only understand as much as you can because you continue, but if you do not live as they do, you will miss out on everything you experience and see. And I think that is the greatest oversight, what he intended for you. Would you like to see the world they do? To experience it as them?" You see the figure nod. And you watch as the earth overtakes this doll. You see as a baby is born. You don't see the entire birth. You see as the baby is being put in its swaddle and immediately begins growing rapidly from ages 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. A life cycle goes by and you watch as this kind of red-haired, wild human boy has what seems to be the most interesting life you've ever seen. And in reality, all he was a courier. A man delivering packages from one village to another. You could feel that creature being dumbfounded by the prospect. Intrigued. Wanting to see it again. And you see countless lives ahead of you. You see warriors. You see astrologists. You see all different kinds of people. all having the same question. And in each of the end of these creatures' lives, you see that same man with the walking stick approaching them, asking them the same question. If they are satisfied and if they would like to continue the cycle. Continue to learn what it means to be like them. And each time, the man, woman, or child agreeing and continuing on. And your vision is pulled. Very briefly, we'll go to Kipley. Sitting across from you is Percival Rennell.
Mm.
You see the darker-skinned elf sitting there with a rather serious look on his face. One of kind of not concern or kind of deeper thought, but analyzing, and that kind of analytical look of trying to diagnose what something is just splayed across his face very evidently. And you hear in his voice as he reaches out and goes, I'm trying to understand what exactly it is you're here for. And I don't mean here as in where we stand now. I mean your purpose. I've seen many purposes before. I've seen many different peoples, creatures, all of them with plans laid out before them. But I must say, this is one of the few ones that leaves me questioning. What is it that you truly desire? That is truly laid out for you to explore?
Are you
You see-
Percival or are you Elsa?
I am a form of which you can understand. I've seen many times in the past of taking on loved ones to be challenging, especially of those who've passed. So I'd instead go to those of which have the greatest foundation in the mind of whoever's trying to connect with me. And it seems this individual was one of the most concrete ideas that you've had. One of which you've already tried to create a plan for. How you see this creature in its entirety and for what it is and what it has done. And many people would come to me looking for answers. Some would ask if they could use my power to destroy people like this, control them, shape them. You see, as the world changes, that mountainside hovel you saw before sits in front of you. Although this time you see there's a gravestone outside it. And written on it is, in fact, Vince's name. Scene changes. You see the sinking Hope, and you watch as the ship itself, destined for doom and already in such bad shape, is intercepted by another vessel. One by the name of the Rising Hope. And you see a collaboration, you see a need for repairs being done and gone through with little to no actual costs. and you see a happy life lived out where your family never had to make that ritual they did. You see Ezra and your family, and more importantly, you see a life where you never suffered to begin with. And it shapes back to the same moment that you were just in, that field, the small hovel off in the distance. Many different realities can be found, many different worlds, as you would put it, can be seen. I think I have the smallest inkling of what you wish from me. But I ask, Kipley, in your world, the one where everything works out, at what consequence is that reached?
I think that's kind of the problem. I don't really see a world where everything works out.
And yet you're trying to get there.
Not really.
I think you are. You are here, in this moment, in this time. And while all your other comrades trying to think about helping, saving, experiencing, you are one of the few that is trying to think about shaping. Controlling what your reality will be when you return.
Is that possible?
Absolutely. Is that something that you would really wish to do is the real question. What you've seen before you are things that have already happened. Countless, near infinite decisions are made every day. All of these possibilities have happened and will happen, or have already happened, I guess. Which one you would like to live out is a dangerous question I would like for you to think fully upon before making choices. I can tell you of many souls that I have interacted with have been one who is burdened with so very much. Something so far from what you would put on an individual, never mind an entire people's. And for that, I know it would seem near idiotic to put past the idea that you could avoid it to begin with. I would ask where your values lie, and who it is you really wish to save.
I only care about the ones that matter. To me.
Does that include yourself? Does that include Cyrus, Mischief, Pterodon?
Yes. Includes my friends. people that care.
I will say this. There are many things that I have seen in my life. Many different powers wielded, spells cast, rituals performed. You already know and have all the power you need to change your life. How you wish to change it is in your own hands. And I truly hope that you can find a way to be happy with whatever choice you make.
Well, that sounds ominous.
Many of which that have spoke with me have said similar things. Luckily, this vessel, of which I am trying to communicate forward, is not one that speaks in riddles or further strangeties, otherwise this would be much more complicated.
What is it you want
But
from
ominous.
me?
One does not need to have such desires and wants. Not everybody wants something from you, Ghibli. I know that is a truth that is not seen in your life, but I will allow you to see it through mine. And you see a smash cut of, for what can be described for now as 5 different individuals going to see this tree, each of which communing, and each of which asking for something. One of which you see, as this tree is but a sapling, still towering over the ironwoods. You see a individual waltz up to it. They are a Aarakocra, or at least Aarakocra kin. You see this female Aarakocra walk up, connecting, requesting, and they show you the exact vision of what that individual had. They came seeking knowledge and understanding of the world so that how best they could conquer. They wanted to understand the people, not to connect with them, but to rule over them. You see another individual, one of which you do have a terrifying understanding. This may very well be the slight fear you had earlier when you heard the name Newman. You see a young, white-haired woman, golden eyes, in rather tattered cloth, approaching this tree, placing a hand on it, and in a very similar sense, seeking power, not for the conquering of others, but for, scarily enough, the same exact thought that you had to shape the world. And not just the people that are in it, not just the mountains that are moving, or the ocean that is rising or falling, but to shape the very reality itself. And seeking to understand what this world really is. I want you to go ahead and either give me, I will allow an insight check or a straight intelligence check. This is going to be a DC of, we're going to call it flat 10. 8. You can reroll, or you can use a D6 to try and get it too.
I'll do D6.
Go for it.
What the?
3, 11. Hey, that's what you needed. It is a extraordinarily younger version. But what you see before you is either scarily Evelyn Kroll herself or one of her previous ancestors. And you get the understanding that the fact that they knew about this place and the fact that this in itself is not just a place in the world, but a place in time where that being, this tree, would have already existed in such a younger state. This would have been even longer back than what you have traveled so far. And you see 3 other individuals, of which we're in a smash cut because we're running out of time. Each of which asked for something, and each of which the tree provided. And then you see the last individual. You see a child. Around 6, 7 years old. You see a little girl wanders up to the tree. At this point now, it's not fully grown, but it is quite grown. You see, while the grove isn't grown into a full city, there is people wandering about. Clearly a collective, some sort of tribe, has gathered around this central place, this being. And you see as she reaches out, places a hand on it, and vines begin to extend out to her, creating the same vision. The only thing that she requested was to know its name. To know what she could call it, and to share it with her family so that they could better know it, since they wanted to live next to it. And you get the comparison between the type of individuals who come here. And you can see the purity and response of not just the question of the situation, but the genuine, profound disbelief that Ilsander had. You don't quite fully understand what this being is, because it is so much more than just a living organism. You can tell this thing has been here probably since the beginning of time. Wherever this realm is, this was probably the first living creature or living plant life that existed. Since its first gained consciousness to be able to wield itself as an intelligent life form, that was the first ever question that it truly respected. You can see from there, many other people have asked countless things, and the only question that it has left for you is what you would ask of it. Now knowing what you know.
Boy. I think pondering all of that, I think Kipling, is it still like in the shape of Percival before, or is it?
You are currently just sitting in a blank mindscape.
Okay.
In a very similar way to where Mammoth was sitting in space. Yours isn't, this isn't like the outer planes, or this isn't like the astral sea. You were just straight up in a black, completely empty room that you can tell has walls and borders, but doesn't have anything in it. And you essentially get the prospect that when you entered this thing, when you were first going to seek connection, that it was confused that you didn't have a direct question for it, because it sensed that duality inside of you, that you already had answers for questions you were looking for, but didn't have any of the big questions for yourself figured out yet. So it's now asking, what can it do, or what would you like from it to help with that?
I never really. I suppose I've never truly sought after answers. I've just kind of stumbled through all of this. I suppose I don't really have a question, but more of just a request. If you can't be around in a couple thousand years, can I take you with me? I feel like our world could really use you.
Snap back to a vision, a place where you can see. And what appears before you is not Paradise Peak. It's not the Sinking Hope. But you see there is countless different routes set throughout the known world. And you get the message, as the voice seems to have left you in this moment. You get the sensation of being understood, that it knows what you've asked, and has processed that. You sense that request is already done, and that it already exists throughout countless places in the world, and that it runs so much deeper than what you would believe it to do. As you are the first one to see this because of that request. You see the Ironwood Thicket. You see the Ironwood Thicket in its natural state. So what you first saw when you were approaching land, that expanse of trees that you originally saw, you see a ghostly overlay of the same exact place that we are seeing right now on the map, in the same spot at the same time. Now, Kipley has never been one to explore weird tidbits of lore in the past just because of where you grew up, because you didn't have the money to do so. Only went from stories about various different fairy tales and such for family, friends, and wherever you could find them. But in this moment, you get the sense that whatever this being actually is, Elsander's roots are in fact not of this world, but the roots themselves reach into
countless different worlds at the same time. And you get the fact this tree, this place that you're at right now, it is not necessarily a different place in the world that that portal took you to. It is simply a world overlapping your own. So you feel confident that with your ability to psychically, reach out to beings, as your connection breaks and you are the first to emerge from your commune with Elsander, you feel as long as you have that hairpin, you will be able to find traces of them in the world.
Fuck yeah.
And with that, unfortunately, we'll have to end our session there. We will pick up with everyone else's visions next week, because we're not done with either Durdons or Mammoths. But I wanted to get to a little bit of everybody at least, so we're not just stuck on one story, and then we have to wait a whole other week for another. I will leave the option open to you all in case you would like to continue this sooner than later. If you would like to open RP for this, so that you can ask questions and continue the experience with Elsander throughout the week until we get to next week, we can essentially have like that, or private sessions, either if you would like to hold up in DMs or our secret channels, and ask any questions or go for the experience of what you would like there instead. Or if you just want to wait until next week, that's also perfectly fine. I will leave that up to you guys, as this is essentially as long as you would like it to be. You're speaking to, I think we have now all figured out a world tree that has extraordinarily large amounts of knowledge, and is willing to share a good amount with everybody. So what are the initial thoughts? Do you want to RP it up, or do you want to wait until next week?
I'll wait till next week.
I
Cool,
don't
cool, cool.
mind either one. I know that Ash has limited time, so RP could be beneficial for her. So
Sure.
yeah. So it is. If Ash is good with RP, then I'm good with it as well.
Cool. I think we can just leave the option open. If you have any personal questions of what you would like to address inside of the visions, we can have that outside of the session. And we can also cover a little bit of everyone else's visions as we pick up next time. I definitely want to get to Durdon's at least a little bit, because we didn't get too much of yours. But we'll just put it as, if you guys have any questions about anything else you would like to experience or ask Elsander, private channels are open. I'll be looking around to respond to those throughout the week then.
Yay!
Sure.
But I hope you guys enjoyed. I know that probably sprung only more questions rather than answering the ones that were already there, but your boy's been waiting for you to get here for a long time. So feel free to ask even more, and I hope the lore is as juicy as